Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Quite a few of you guys, the viewers, have made quite a bold claim, and that is that modern frontline Russian fighters with their IRST systems essentially make American stealth aircraft like the Raptor obsolete. I personally have my doubts about this claim, but we're going to make two videos to investigate this further. One will be a battle video, and that's what we're doing today, and the second will be a more scientific video. Today will be the Raptor against the Su-35 in beyond visual range combat. Before we get to that, let's do a bit of talking and just a bit of history. And I want to explain my thoughts why I have my doubts about this claim. First, the very basics. If we take this Raptor here, it finds targets by using a radar. It is an emitting sensor that uses the electromagnetic spectrum. The Su-35 also has a radar, but as well as that, it has an IRST, infrared search and track. This little guy here, it is a purely passive sensor that works on the infrared spectrum. Historically, US and Russia have had very different doctrines with their fighter aircraft. In fact, I'll put this as a question to you viewers. If we look at the Americans, frontline fighters today, the F-15 series, the F-16, the F-18 series, the F-22, they all use radar but no IRST. I think the only modern US aircraft that uses IRST is the most modern one, the F-35. It uses it in the form of DAS, which is a little bit different, but the same concept. Whereas the Russian aircraft, let's say the Flanker series and the Fulcrum series, all the way since the early 80s have augmented their radars with the IRSTs. So why did the Russians go down that path and have stuck with that path? I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Next, I want to talk about why I have my doubts about the Russian IRST. I've put it into three areas. First is the area of scan. So if we look at any modern radar, it's a really good sensor. It can scan a very big area of sky. I always like to describe the scan area as a slice of cake where the aircraft is at the pointy end and it scans out in a fan that way, and all the way here in between. It has a long range, 60, 70, 80, maybe even 100 miles depending on the radar, and as long as the aircraft it's scanning is not in a bad aspect or a stealth aircraft, then it's pretty much going to detect that aircraft. It can then transfer the search to a track and engage that target. An IRST is also a very powerful, or should I say sensitive, sensor with claimed ranges of sometimes more than 60 miles, but it scans quite a small area of sky. Now that makes the search bit of IRST, quite difficult. The second point is the range. The range of the sensors are claimed to be 60 or more miles, but those figures are based on what I would call perfect scenario, where the fighter that it's sensing is turned away and has high engine output, so it's producing a big heat plume, easy to detect for the IRST. But as we're probably going to see today, if the opposing aircraft is on a hot aspect and it's not running its engines too hot, that range dramatically increases to what we're probably going to find today of 10, maybe 15 miles. The third problem I see is overall situational awareness. So the radar on this F-22 not only detects and tracks targets, it also interrogates them. Determines whether they're friend or foe. It can do this in two different ways. It can detect this aircraft here, and then the radar can ping the transponder on this Su-35. If that transponder does not squawk back a friendly response, then it knows that this is not a friendly and it's probably a hostile, and the F-22 can probably engage. It's a bit more complex than that, but that's the basics. As well as that, if the Su-35 is within certain parameters in terms of range and aspect, the radar on the F-22 or any modern radar can actually scan the shape of parts of the Su-35 and determine what type of aircraft it is. In this case, it would look down the engine nacelles, scan the front or back of the engines, and determine that must be a Su-35, and therefore, as only Russia is using it in this particular battle, it must be a hostile. So that's a really good use of the Raptor's radar. The IRST on the Su-35 does not have that ability. As far as I'm aware, it has no IFF ability. That's a bit different to the DAS on the F-35, but let's just stick with the Russian variants at the moment. So my thoughts are that, assuming this is not going to be using its radar, and even if it did, it wouldn't be able to detect this Raptor at any more than a few miles. Even if it did detect it with its IRST, it does not have a way of checking whether it's hostile or friendly. And therefore, even if it could get a track, it couldn't really do anything with it. You can't really engage a hostile unless you know it's a hostile. These things are complicated a bit because, as well as our onboard sensors, IFF can also be given via outboard sensors, like from other friendly fighters and from AWACS and whatnot. But maybe we'll just stick away from the AWACS idea and just look at onboard sensors on these aircraft. So guys, that's my thoughts on the weaknesses of the Russian IRST system. Area of scan is small, therefore SA is reduced. The range is reduced, assuming that the opposing aircraft is making the basic steps to try and reduce its IR signature. And a complete lack of IFF makes it tactically troublesome. Have you guys got any points or pushback on that?
No pushback, but Americans have been messing with IRST since the early 60s. In fact, that little bump on the bottom of the F4, that was initially designed for an IRST mount. As far as I know, nobody's actively working one right now.
Well, that's the thing. That's absolutely. You guys have had it, and Europeans have it. French are really good with it. Our Eurofighters in Europe, we have it on a lot of our planes. So why do the Americans not have it on their frontline fighters? It can't be very expensive.
So I don't have the F-14 in game, but does it work in that?
There was an F-14A that had it, and it was terrible, and so they replaced it with a TCS, a glorified camera instead.
The pirate system on the Typhoon is significantly better, and it caused trouble, upset the Americans in Red Flag, Alaska 2012, when the Typhoons are detecting, Luftwaffe Typhoons are detecting F-22s at significant ranges with their pirate sensors. So that came as a bit of a rude shock to the Americans. So certainly the one on the Typhoon is very good and probably significantly better than the Russian one.
Yes, I think most of the world agrees. Apart from the DAS on the F-35, I think the Typhoon Pirate is accepted as the best in the world. Well, obviously, we're going to go and test this as we have it simulated in DCS, and it's simulated pretty well as far as we can tell. The combatants today. F-22 is from Grimnelli, converted to Grim Reaper's version 9. Very importantly, its radar cross-section is 0.0001 square meters, meaning it can be seen by an airborne AESA radar at about 8 to 18 miles, depending on parameters. Critically to today, its IR signature, the amount of heat it makes from its engines, is 1 to 5. Between 1 and 5, it's the basic ratio. It does not have an IRST. It's beyond visual range air to MSR. It's an AIM-120D3 within visual range AIM-9X. Flanker, Su-35 by codename Flanker. Converted to Grim Reaper's version 8. Radar cross-section 5 square meters. A lot of you say that the Su-35 in reality has a lot of composite surfaces and whatnot to reduce that, but the reason I haven't looked into it further is because the basic shape and concept of the Flanker series is not very stealthy. The engines can't be covered and whatnot, so even if it was reduced, which it probably is, it's still 2 or 3 square meters, which will still be seen at 100 miles with our radar, so it's just not worth investigating. IR signature, same as the Raptor. IRST, yes, estimated range about 60 miles maximum. Beyond visual range air-to-air missile R77-1 with longer range than it will ever need today, because the most it could possibly use it against a Raptor today is 18 miles. Within visual range, modernized Archer, and you've already seen the loadouts, guys. We're going to start today with a beyond visual range battle, and this seems completely unfair, and I think it is, because obviously the blues are stealth planes and can only be seen within 20 miles. The reds are not stealth planes and can be seen by radar at over 100 miles. But again, we're looking at this IRST concept. Distance between is 110 miles. It's moderately mountainous terrain. Good visibility. Predictions. Does anyone think these Su-35 can win? I don't think it can, for all the reasons I've said.
No.
I agree. I think the radar cross-section of the Su-35 is just going to be such a big handicap for it.
Welcome in round 1. Su-35's push cap dark matrix Cannonball Brandon F-22s will mix and match to try and make sure we even out the skill levels, guys. A couple of points First, we can use our IRST with or without our radar, but to be honest, there's not a great deal of point of having our radars on today, guys. We're not going to detect those Raptors at any useful range, and they will detect the emissions from it and triangulate our position. Secondly, we do have a little workaround, a little cheat in-game to IFF. So if we do get a track with our IRST without our radar on, we will not be able to IFF them, but if we quickly flip our radar on for a few seconds, it will automatically slave to that IRST track and perform a transponder request. And because of the way it works in DCS, you will get an IFF back over that. I don't think you can do that in real life. I don't think you could ping a 5th gen aircraft like that, but it is a little thing that we've got, guys. Other than that, tactics, we cannot be anything other than 50 feet off the deck, presumably, because the maximum we're going to see them is, I don't know, 20 miles, I imagine, even with their IRST on a head-on aspect, and they are going to see us with their radars at 100 miles. Any ideas otherwise, guys?
Spread out, and that way we can cover more area, I guess.
So, Dog, do you want to go on the northern aspect, push southern aspect, and me down the centre? 50 feet off the ground is our only real protection from their radar. Off we go. Viewers, I've deliberately chosen an undulating map with 6,000 foot mountains because if it was purely flat, we couldn't hide from the Raptor's radars and we would be doomed. Also, I've not put AWACS on today because it would be a huge advantage to the Raptors, obviously. Their AWACS would see us and ours wouldn't see them. It would be completely unfair. Map is set to data link, so if we see one of them, it will be reported to the data link, but it's probably not going to happen. Firing up my electro-optical system. Out of interest, the way it works, viewers, if you can see, I can slew the electro-optical system left or right, up and down, but it's not an easy thing to use.
I'm getting spiked.
Wow, so they've already found push. Get lower, find a canyon. We start in a bit of a basin away from the mountains, so we need to get to some mountains. If we get in a dogfight, viewers, there is absolutely the possibility that we could win a dogfight. Cap spike, I'm in trouble. I'm notching into the mountains. Guys, if you get a spike, just head into the mountains. In real life, we probably wouldn't get that spike warning as the Raptors are running AESA radars, but I will take the advantage. One benefit today of not having an AWACS, viewers, is that their missiles will not be able to guide on the AWACS data link. In fact, I've stacked all the advantages I can in the favour of the Su-35, really. I'm not even bothering to use my IRST at the moment, viewers. I know they're too far away for me to see them, so...
Another spike.
Alright, wow, Dark's pushing, well done. I'm behind you, Dark, by about 20 miles. Mountains are not quite as big as I'd hoped. Okay, I have a heat source, so I'm going to lock it, look, viewers. I'm tracking him at 30 kilometers, and I've lost him. But I knew it. It's dark anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Range only goes out to 60 kilometers.
No, it goes further than that, push. It goes up to about 100 kilometers for the IRST. Dark is at bullseye. I'm 30 miles back. Push is down south. Right, I'm going to start actively searching with my IRST now. So I'm slewing it left, I'm slewing it right, I'm slewing it up, I'm slewing it down.
Push defensive.
Oh wow, push is under attack. Right, any idea where the missile came from? I'm coming.
It's from the north.
Roger, oh wow. Yep, I'm coming, push. Slewing my IRST up and down, trying to find that heat source. Push is still alive. Found it. Well, blow me down, I found the Raptor. I found the bloody Raptor.
Get him.
Can't, I'm too far away. Well, it appears I'm going to have to take everything back, viewers. Just gone and found a Raptor.
Got another missile out on me.
Someone just blew up.
Got me.
Oh, that was you I was tracking. It was you. Shit. I was tracking Poosh. I did not find a Raptor. Well, there's your problem with your IFF, viewers. Where did he come from? So you said his missile came from the north, yeah?
Came from the north. Both of them were from the north. What's the vertical cone look like on an EO?
Unknown.
I'd say they were really high.
Shit.
It'd be hard to see them. It looks like they're having a hard time fighting you guys.
What up? Missile on my left. Oh, missile on my right, actually. Oh, shit. I knocked a bloody tail off on a building. God damn it. Oh, it's all you, Dark. I'm going to go to cheat mode, but I won't cheat. I can see which way this is going already.
Brandon was the one that actually got me.
Mm-hmm. Go to cheat mode, Poosh, and look at the altitudes of the Raptors, but don't tell Dark, obviously.
Okay.
Well, they haven't found you yet.
I had spikes this direction, 2 of them.
Yeah, they lost you. You're welcome to put your radar on if you want, Dark, but it'll probably be to your deficit if you do. I'm really surprised they've not found you, you know? They've got a good pattern.
I'm not flying especially low.
They've got good radars, but no,
Yeah.
It can be difficult to look down like that and find targets sometimes if they're not on a hot aspect. So it's probably more luck than anything, but
I think Brandon's been flying around a little bit lower than the other two,
Yeah.
so I think that's why
He's trying to
he
cover
found
that.
me. But they're not organized. If I was going to do it, I think I'd try to get lined up, wing abreast at spacing and just
search
do
pattern.
searches patterns over the.
I think I'm going to hop into Blue comms and tell them to revert to Bullseye, guys. Otherwise, no one's ever going to find each other. Com check Blues.
Cannonball Fox 3.
Oh, they found him. Just as I went in, they launched a missile. AIM-120 D3s flying. Oh, what an amazing missile. Jesus, Dark did everything right there.
Yep.
Doesn't cheat though, it can't see through a mountain, it just... For our viewers, let's see what happened, for what it's worth. We spread out because, I don't know, what else are we supposed to do? But obviously we kept low, we don't control the skies here, we have to keep low. We knew the best we could hope to pick you up is at 20 miles with our electro-optical, our radar, more like 10 miles. Look at that, you flew right over us. We didn't. We had no idea that was happening. No idea at all. We were in the mountains all the time, so your radars just weren't picking us up. Brandon was low and caught Poosh a lot easier. Look at that. Look at the missile go Pitbull. Pitbull.
I was high, yeah, Ken.
Oh, you were high, 44,000 feet. Oh, yep, take that back. Now, this was a really interesting bit. Me and Poosh communicated. He said he's being attacked from the north, which he was. So I turned in, and now look at this. I found Poosh on my electro-optical sensor here. Why? He turned his butt to me and put his afterburner on. So I actually saw him at well, about 30 miles. So the sensor works all right. Couldn't see the Raptor because he was up at 40,000 feet, and getting the right angle on the electro-optical to find 40,000 feet, you know, it's a bit of a chance. So I just didn't see him. I watched Poosh get blown up, and that was it. What happened to me then? Someone found me. Cannonball found me, and you know what I did? I hit my tail on a frigging building trying to hide in a city, and went out of control before the missile hit me because supercap. And then there was just a giant cat and mouse. Dark, confirm you just never saw anyone?
Thought I might have gotten a lock for like half a second at that point.
Right, yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I was just using vertical scan and I thought I had something on it for a second.
You might have, yeah.
That's why I turned that way for a second, and then I thought, nah, it must have been nothing. And
So did you turn your radar on?
it might have when it locked you, if it automatically does, but no, I never hit it.
I saw an unknown contact on my RWR pop up at one point, but I wasn't sure because when I looked back where it was in the same direction as Matrix, who was circling and pointing towards me. And I thought, well, maybe it was him.
You did break lock for those missiles for a bit, Dark, but unfortunately you popped out the other side of the mountains and the AMRAAMs reacquired. With their own seeker, and well, it is what it is. Guys, an absolute thrashing. I don't think there was any major surprises there. Let's reverse the teams now, just to produce the exercise the other way around. Alright boys, same teams but other planes now. What do you want to do? We own the skies. Do you want to fly around at 40,000 feet and look down, or you want to...
Yeah, I mean, you can't see people. There were times when we were within 10 miles of those guys and didn't pick up anything on
Yeah, the
tail
only
on.
time I might have thought I got a lock, I was like on top of him.
Let's go up. Let's keep our radar sleeve down. Right, so don't forget your Master Arms. Don't forget your FCSs. Don't forget your RWRs. Just gonna have some fun with some friggin' Sukhois. So if you're gonna go high, guys, you gotta be above cons. So let's go and find out where cons are. Start at 28. Finish at 40. Need to stay above Angels 40. And they will, if they see those cons, they'll home in on you real easy, so be careful. Right, I am 30 miles from Bullseye. Oh, and I've already got one. Hello, young man. Right, I've Twiz locked him, guys. Oops. Had Twiz locked him. Alright. From me, he is on a heading of 080473 nautical miles. That's how easy it is in Raptors, viewers. Oh, and he's turned. Don't worry, he'll be back.
Oh, I see someone too. Got someone on radar. I'm not gonna lock him yet. I have two, maybe?
Yeah, I got two as well. Soft locked. Both at 072. 66 miles on closing. Oh, viewers. To be in the Raptor. I've got all three now. I've got all three. All at 072 from me. 60 to 80 miles.
Yep,
They're all heading north.
one.
They're all going north. Keep an eye on your altitude, guys. Let's not make ourselves easy targets. I am. They're north of Bullseye. I'm 20 miles away. Still got them at 70 miles. Soft locking one to security. Guys, make sure you're soft Twiz locking, otherwise you'll scare them. Got them again.
When are you gonna fire?
Let's get close. There's no point of firing at 50 miles, I don't think. Let's see how close we can get within reason, you know. Fire at about 30 miles maybe.
Yeah, I'm about 60.
I'm 60. I just lost contact. We're a line abreast. Everything's perfect. Come off the burn in our push. You're getting ahead of us. One's turned south. Two are going north. One's turned south. Just look how powerful the radar is, viewers. The information it gives us. That's what I was talking about at the beginning. Situational awareness. You do not get that with the IRST system.
I'm on the right, or the furthest east one.
It's not east, it's south, and yeah, I get it. You go for that guy. Dark, can you go for the Angels 4? I've got Angels 5. Cap in La at 40 miles.
Shoot.
I'm going to go an extra 30, an extra 10.
Just lost mine.
Roger.
There's
Just
a 7.
earmark his rough location and follow up that area. Cap 35 miles. I'm not far off firing, guys. Cap 30 miles. Where's firing?
Shoot.
I fired on the closest guy. Shit, my guy's faded. You're tracking your guy, Dark?
Yep, just shot.
Roger. Alright.
Fox 3.
All bandits being fired at. And one of them's on data link. My missile's a dud. Or is it? Yeah, my missile's a dud. Oh no, it's not a dud. Matrix dead. I did not expect that, guys.
Shoot.
Did not expect that at all.
Shoot.
Must have reacquired. Fire at your guy just to make sure
Cannonball dead.
Wow.
This
This really is too easy, guys.
Well, I lost the lock. He's
Roger.
somewhere northeast of me.
What was the last vector he was on, and I'll triangulate.
He looked like he was headed northeast. You see where my missile is?
Yeah,
That's about where he was.
yeah, so from you, he was there. What range have you got in push?
Yeah, I found him.
35 miles.
What vector have you got him on dark? I'll triangulate him from there.
120.
Alright,
It's
searching.
cold.
Yeah, he's on data link. He's near, for visual reference, he's near some wetlands. Push from you, here's a vector
Fire a second
of
missile.
061 from you, push, 061 from 30 for 30. Cam's found him. Oh, Brandon! Alright, Cap Twiz, and I lost him. Poor Brandon. God, it's what it was like for
Still
us.
got him locked.
Shoot. Shoot.
He's climbed up. He's at 8,000 now. I've got 2 missiles out on him. I don't know. We got 4 total.
Welcome back, viewers. Complete whitewash, as we all expected. We just did exactly what you guys did. We went to 40,000 feet above Cons, slewed our radars down, found you with absolute ease, got to within 30 miles, fired all our missiles off, and there's nothing you could have done. There is nothing to say about it. And we were killing you outside the ranges that your IRSTs could even pick us up at a hot aspect on Mill Power. Brandon did some great Simba-style dodging, but, you know, he was never in a chance to actually fight back. So I don't see the point of carrying on like this. We knew it was going to be like this. I'm sure the viewers knew it was going to be like this. It's such an outmatched sensor type, radar versus IRST. So why don't let's stack things in the Su-35 favour even more. Let's put 2 Raptors against 4 Su-35 and see if we can find a way. Welcome back, viewers. We've now got 4 Su-35s, Push, Dark, Cannonball, Cap versus Matrix and Brandon. Guys, I don't know what to suggest other than what we've been doing. Go low, spread out, hope to bump into a Raptor. Like, I'm trying to get through to the viewers that our IRST on a hot aspect only really sees them at 20 miles if we're lucky, and we have to be very lucky to find them in the sky up at those altitudes. I don't know what else to do. Any bright ideas?
The only thing I can think of, because it worked for you guys in the first one, was a notch. Is if you can notch the radars.
Oh, okay.
And then you kind of wait for them to close the distance, but then you're still, at some point, you have to turn hot.
Right. Yeah, so the best we think we've got is to null their radar viewers by notching north to south. That means they can't fire at us very easily. They sort of know we're here, but they can't fire at us very easily. So we bring them in to try and get them in within 20 miles. Then we can then we can spot them with our IRSTs. Still, the Raptors have a huge initiative advantage, and the chances of killing them is going to be minimum. That's the best we've got, though. Do you want to do it off the bat, guys, or do you want to close a bit?
No, let's make them come over to us. There's that river below us. I think has some canyon walls around us, and we can seek cover there. But
all right, guys, we'll north to south. Bring them in. It's the best we've got. It's a terrible, terrible way of fighting. It's like fighting on your back. But it's the best we've got, viewers. I'm pausing now. Right, guys, I'm on southern aspect.
Nails to the east.
Yep. Are you guys going to be on the deck as well to kinematically make you safer? So the lower we go, the safer we are from the missiles. The better we notch, the safer we are from their radar and their missiles, viewers.
Put my IRST all the way up to...
Yeah, right. So get the IRSTs pointing up then, guys. Now, to what notch? That I don't know. I mean, how do you know? There is no way of knowing. We are 20 miles away from each other. I'm going to turn north now. Right, cap on a north vector. I should point out, viewers, as well, don't forget that the Grim Reaper's videos are not scripted for success, so what you're seeing here is, you know, us doing it properly and fairly. Also, you guys know how bad the RWR is and how little it tells us.
Yeah, this is awful. I was just trying to break locks and...
There is no way of notching from that, with that. I suspect they're probably about bullseye by now. We know there'll be Angels 40.
You know which aspect they are?
Yeah, we know which aspect they are.
Almost directly behind me.
There'll be bulls.
I've got locked on spiked.
I suspect they're about 50 nautical miles away. Looking for any cons or any mistakes that they made, viewers, but it's highly unlikely.
Cannonball spike.
Okay, so one of them's found Cannonball, one's found Push.
One's still tracking me.
Spiked again.
Cap Sonic Boom, that was Push. Sonic Boom, that was Dark. I'm going to have a 30-second hot leg, guys, and wave my IRST in the air, see what I can see. Probably not a lot. Right, so I'm just going to wave my IRST over the sky, viewers. Vary the angle. Spike. Nothing. Heading cold. Cap southern leg. I would estimate they're about 30 miles. Cap spike. Cap merge cannonball. Shit missile. Trap. And hiding. Cap accepting missiles.
I just did a sweep and didn't see anything on IRST.
Me
Roger.
too.
Cat missile defeated. Not
Been
defeated.
on the radar for about 10 seconds, didn't see anything either.
Roger. I'm still alive.
I'm the furthest one away, and they've been tracking me like the whole time, so maybe they'll overfly you.
Well, you know what? There's at least one of them fully committed to me, pumping missiles into me, and I'm just dodging his missiles. That might be an opportunity for someone to have a look at him.
Which side are they coming from for you?
I can't tell. I'm turning all the time.
I could probably give you a direction if my RWR works at all. I've got both of them spiked, or spikes from them at like 20930.
Roger, roger.
29 from me.
Feel free to triangulate that and go for them. Expect them to be high. Okay, I've defeated all missiles. I'm dragging them south. Get off, knobheads. Bit of SA. Okay, I'm dragging them down this southern gully. Maybe you can get a look at their hot engines from behind. Jeez, a missile just blew up in the friggin' river right behind me. You see that, viewers? Missile just went right below me. I am dodging, dodging, dodging. I'm running out of stuff to hide behind.
Oh, missile on me.
Right, good. Right, I'm going to aggress, viewers. I think I've dragged them nice and close. Now I'm going to head northeast. IRST on. Searching the skies. Sleeve up. Sleeve down. Sleeve left.
Missile on me.
Sleeve right. I'm coming. The tactic's working so far, guys. Dark's there. They probably shot him from about there. So I reckon they're right in front of me, viewers. I'm looking to search the sky. Come on, give me a friggin' heat source. Nothing. Oh, god damn it. Nachos impossibles. Careful not to overspeed when you're dodging, guys. It handles like a slug if it's too fast.
Missile's back on me.
I'm evading.
Oh, I'm in the river and I'm getting a spike from the west, southwest. So that means they've crossed the river.
They've crossed over us. They're above us. Okay, I've blocked behind a mountain, so I know where that missile came from. Scratch that. Oh, bollocks! Oh, about friggin' time. Ah, well, you know what? We survived a long time, guys. Wowie, look at that. Look what they are, viewers. That's so funny. I was searching that sky at all angles. I was searching at all elevations. I can give you a hint, guys. One of them's made an error. Make of that what you will. This hostile error has been rectified.
Are you still getting spiked, Dark?
2 spikes.
Can you tell which way
From
they're
what
coming
direction?
from?
Directly in front of me, 270.
That's
All right, I'm going north. My EO tracker's on, looking high.
good tactics, guys.
Cannonball spike from... Oh, missile. Gotta go.
Is it from the west?
No, it's from the east. It looked like.
Oh, dodge, that was dark. Well done.
I'm out of chaff now, though.
Uh-huh.
I'm not spiked anymore, and I'm not particularly low, so I think they might have turned cold.
Unlucky. It's pretty much shot straight down at you, Cannonball. 2 versus 2. Dark is doing amazingly well to survive. Well done.
Maybe they're out of missiles soon.
Well, that's a fair point. Raptor only carries 6 medium long-range missiles. And if it's going to come in for a Sidewinders, then it's a 50-50 dogfight. No Raptor driver should ever get in a dogfight, viewers. It means they've made a major failing if they have.
Dodging missiles not good for fuel.
Yep, some major tactical disadvantage because you've got to fly low to dodge a missile, and that means your fuel consumption is terrible. Whereas them, at 40 whatever thousand feet, you probably already know they're up there, no fuel consumption at all. Has anyone seen anyone on EO yet? I've got nothing.
Negative.
Yeah, it was negative.
No, and
for
I'm
me.
going above the cloud to try.
Yeah, and these Raptors are hot, viewers. They're just as hot as those Sukhois.
I wish they gave you a better indication of what elevation those numbers meant.
Right. Yeah, and I believe it's an angle in degrees or something like that, or radians. I forget now, but it doesn't mean anything unless you can do trigonometry on the fly. It's not much use. Dark's gone above the clouds to try and find him with his eyes.
I got cons on at least one.
Well, use those.
What an error! What an error! What an error! Brandon, what are you doing? He's just realised.
Dark.
He's just realised. Uh-oh. He's seen you. Finally, we managed to get one in a dogfight. IL-4 missile fired. No track. You're out of fuel. God damn it, Dark. He's out of fuel. That is so unfortunate. That sums up our day, doesn't it, guys?
Yep.
Well, at least his Sidewinders won't work anymore. That's good, right?
You still see him, Dark?
No, he came down. He is approximately 240 for me.
Poosh, you're almost on top of Dark, so 240 for you too.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Matrix has wandered off.
All right, he's done a
Out of the
proper
fight.
Simba. Got bored. Going off to play MS 2020.
Wait, do I actually have fuel still?
Well, no, because your engines are off damp. Why are you good? You know what? I'm just calling you damp. It's just easier. Not Matrix.
It's just making weird noises.
Matrix. They'll keep. They've got an automatic restart feature on them, so they'll keep trying to restart. But because there's no gas, they obviously won't.
Spike for you.
Matrix has gone 50 miles the wrong way, and he's finally turning back in.
3-0. No, 2-8, 2-7.
Mad dog, that sucker.
Yeah, that's a possibility. Aim towards the spike and just Mad Dog one off. Dark pushes in front of you, so it'd be a little dangerous for you to Mad Dog them.
Too late.
No, too late for that.
Zu spät. Kill. That would really summarise the use of the IRST, wouldn't it, guys?
That one's after me.
Friendly fire. That's about all it's bloody useful for.
Yeah, I've got a missile out on me.
100%.
That's a-
Use that river. Get into that river.
Kitchen B says.
Oh, he defeated a missile push.
Dark is just spamming off all the missiles. Don't die with missiles on the rails.
About friggin' time, Dark.
May I suggest heading for some hills, Poosh?
Ooh, an error from the Raptors.
Sort of moves.
Sonic boom.
Sonic boom.
Look out your window!
See him.
Use your queuing system and lock them up with the HUD. Use the circle thing
He's
on your
not
HUD.
doing it.
Vertical scan.
About friggin' time, push. Duped.
Shoot again.
Pushing the button. It's not.
Yeah, you got two.
Duped. What the hell is Matrix doing? Oh, it is. Oh, doing a thing. Pretty questionable flying all round, viewers, but at least it's some sort of entertainment.
Are you not able to get a lock on them?
I am, and it's not released.
It's not going to matter
There
for
you
much
go.
longer.
Can you switch missiles? You still have a heater on your... There you go.
End this madness. End this madness. Oh, thank God that ended. Ooh, in my hit, push. In my
It
hit.
did.
Ah, God no. Alright, a bit silly. I don't think we need to go any further. All round, that was just pretty terrible. We got thrashed every single match. No one killed a Raptor. We had a chance at the end, but Poosh did a Poosh thing. But it doesn't really matter. It was the Raptor should never have gotten a dogfight anyway. I restate my case in a big tactical theatre where you don't really know where the bad guys are, I think IRST is bloody useless. Unless you've guided in by an AWACS or something, which is irrelevant because an AWACS can't see a Raptor anyway.
Yeah, I don't think the Russian IRSTs are much cop. I think the one on the Typhoon and other Western ones are a lot better.
Yeah, I would agree. They're not very effective. I tried using them in multiplayer and I never can find anybody either.
I can in
All I
a
ever see is the back of my own teammates'
if I
chests.
go in public servers and you know where baddies are going to be, because there's often like a pit where everyone goes in and ends up fighting in. It kind of works in that, if you know they're in a 20 by 20 mile box, you know roughly their altitude. It works in that case. You can find them. But in a big tactical theatre like this, 100 miles by 70 miles, you no idea where the baddies are going to be, no idea what altitude they're going to be. It's like looking through a straw. You've just got no chance of finding them, as we found today, guys.
I mean, the more modern IR seekers with planar array solid-state sensors, they can see a lot wider field of view, so they're a lot better.
That's a really good point to end on. I mean, if we push it right up to the maximum, we look at the DAS on the F-35, that has probably about the same range against a fighter, probably about 60 miles. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but let's say it's got about the same range, but it can see a whole 360 degree. Whereas this can only see a small area, that can see a whole 360 degree. I can start to see how that would be a bit more useful, because it would automatically detect if a fighter was above you. I would have loved to have that scenario here, because the amount of times Raptors flew over you. But with these old systems, that doesn't help. Maybe the DAS would be much more useful. So maybe a new generation IRST type system would be more useful, but the old manual types, I don't think they're much cop. Anyone else, guys?
I think the Russian IR sensors fit in with the Russian strategy of using GCI. So in the Russian sense, the GCIs would be vectoring the aircraft onto the target first, and the Russian IR would then do terminal homing, if you like. They don't need the range and field of view that the Western sensors now have.
But that's a non-factor, because the Russian GCIs don't see the Raptor. So going back to what the original viewer request is, does the IRST make the Raptor irrelevant? No, because the GCI, the AWACS, the A50 from Russia doesn't get to see the Raptor. So there is no guiding them in. They have to search from scratch.
True. I think aircraft designers in the West are going for multi-spectral threat mitigation. So you've got stealth and IR mitigation and all sorts of other stuff. The Russians don't seem to have gone that way just yet.
No, and I don't know why, but that's for the viewers.
The next generation of mitigation for IR is going to be a lot better.
I hope that was useful, and bye-bye.